Gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and trade of the day. And in today's video update, just kind of want to go over what's going on with the indexes. Obviously, I want to show you kind of what we've got on tap for this week. And if you are not aware, we have this week kind of the Super Bowl of earnings, if you will. We've got, this is tradingview.com. If you go to TradingView, if you go to like Google and go to like TradingView, earnings calendar and then click that link, you'll get this. And what you can do here, what I like to do is sort it by sort of see everything this week. And then I like to sort it by market cap to see what are the biggest names that are reporting this week, right? So we've got Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, ExxonMobil, MasterCard, Procter & Gamble. You've got AMD coming out this week, T-Mobile, Qualcomm. Huge week. Huge week, right? So most of the action is later in the week, but Microsoft is actually tomorrow. If we go here, we can see Microsoft is tomorrow after the close, and then the rest of the names are later in the week. But we've got all of those earnings, and then we also have if we look up the economic calendar for today, right? Go over here to Google and economic calendar for this week. Click on this link for Market Watch, and we can see right here, the big one, of course, is the FOMC interest rate decision at 2 p.m. and then Powell at 2:30. So big week, lots happening. What I've been trying to tell people today so far, the message has been pretty simple. It's sort of save your ammo for later in the week. Don't worry about trying to get involved in this chop. You know, look at the mess that the indexes are in right now. And it's not even a mess. It's just just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? It's just this choppy range in through here. In the last few days, right, really have been a whole lot of nothing, right? The last several days here, markets have gone nowhere for 2 straight days, right? So this could break either way. Honestly, this could break either way. I imagine that we're probably not going to get much until after Microsoft's earnings, but we've got this situation where we've got 2 sort of converging trend lines, and we're either going to break above this or we're going to break below this, right? We're going to go down or we're going to go up, and I don't know which. And I'm not a big fan of making a big bet before I get an idea. And honestly, with everything happening this week, even if we do break down, we could easily be right back up. And the opposite's true. If we break up, we could easily fall right back down. So this is a good week to stay light, to stay nimble, to stay sort of in the mode that anything can and probably will happen. This is going to be a wild week, I think. But again, probably not going to get crazy until Wednesday afternoon. Microsoft Tuesday afternoon has the ability to sort of set the tone on Wednesday, but we'll see what happens with the interest rate decision and then Powell at 2:30 p.m. But outside of all that, I've got a great setup here that I want to show you in GE. Now, if we zoom out, does anybody here want to argue with me that GE here is in a bullish mood, right? If we go out to the weekly, we can see that like this has made a huge comeback since this goes way back. Okay, it was like 2000, but all this stuff over here, like none of this really matters. Like this is all so old, it just doesn't really matter. What I'm looking at is the right side of the chart, and if we look at the daily, GE has been in a really bullish mood for quite a while. Really since the end of sort of 2023, and we've got this great pattern. We've got this beautiful daily squeeze, which is firing along. Now, if you don't know what the earnings profit surge is, it's a phenomenon where after a company has a great earnings report, they raise guidance, they tend to go higher over the next quarter. It's pretty simple. And what we can see here is sort of, this is what happened last quarter, right? This really nice move higher, followed by a quarter of sort of rest in through here. And now GE's had another great report, guided higher. I think we're in the expansion mode again. So what I'm looking to do is basically just get long in GE and sort of sit on it. Now, it's a little bit outside of the perfect buy zone. Like ideally for this daily squeeze, I would say you'd want to try to get long closer to 164. But what I would suggest here is building a position sort of between the 80 MA and the 21. So between 166 and 160, call it 163, somewhere in this range, and just sort of set an alert, just like this, right click, set an alert, add an alert right here, boom. If GE falls into this range, I want to go get long. And for me, the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go out in time. I'm not even going to mess around with anything short dated. I'm going to go all the way out here to September, and I'm just going to go pick up these at the money calls, this $165 strike right here, boom. They're a little bit more expensive. If you wanted to do a debit spread, you could do that. If you wanted to do a credit spread, you could do that also. I wouldn't really do like too far out of the money. Like I wouldn't go for these 185s. You could, they're a little spready. I'd prefer to just buy fewer contracts and have a higher delta on these $165 calls out into September. And then the trade plan would basically be, we want to get long around here, around this 160, call it 165 to 163, somewhere in through here. And then we're actually going to target up here, 181, with a stop below this big point of control, this big red line right in through here. And that level is around 160. Okay. So that's kind of the trade plan. That's what I've got for this week. I hope it helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.